Hey honeys and sweeties, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Life with Lynn. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys a story time of how a security guard robbed me in the store, honey. Daylight. So, um, disclaimer, this is the same day. I'm doing two videos, so if you see me wearing the same outfit, same hair, everything, just know that it's the same day. I'm shooting two videos today, so yeah. So let's get into the video. Hold on, did I tell you guys to like, comment and subscribe? If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and help my channel grow. I really do appreciate it. So let's get into the video. So this was the beginning of 2021. I'm not sure which month, but it was one of the early months of 2021. So my mom and I went to Okarinja and we were busy with important stuff. And my mom told me, like, since it was lunch, like, go buy us lunch at ShopRite and also buy me super away. So I went and bought our lunch, and I also got my mom her super away. So once I was done with buying and paying for the things that I bought, I put my change in the back pocket of my jean, thinking that I also put my receipt in the back pocket. So when I went out, I gave the security guard the super away and the receipt. So I just walked out thinking it was just the receipt. So I walked out and went to the car and gave my mom the food, and then she asked, like, okay, where's my super away then? So I was like looking for the money in my pockets and I couldn't find it. I was like, okay, check in the plastic bag, and it wasn't in the plastic bag either. So my mom was like, no, you lost it, you must have lost it. And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, it must have been, I must have given the security guard. So let me just go and ask the security guard if he still has my recharge, because I just walked out of the store, and obviously if it's a recharge, he will keep it for me. No. So I went back to the store, and when I went back, the security guard that I gave the recharge to was not at the door. So I told another security guard, there was an older man and a lady at the door. So I told them that I gave my recharge to this other security guard, and I described how he looked, and he was like, oh, but that guy, he went to the back, I think he's having his lunch or whatever. So fine. And that older security guard, let me tell you guys, that man was super helpful. So he is like, okay, like, he must have, put your recharge in the bin where they normally throw the receipts away. So we go in the bin, guys. We are digging in that bin, and we are like literally looking for the recharge, and we couldn't find anything. So as we're digging through the bin, the trainee manager comes and he asks, like, why are you guys going through the bin and what are you guys looking for? And we tell him what happened, and he's like, okay, but like, I don't have like much to do, but like, I can help you get the recharge voucher number or something like that. And then he's like, follow me to my office. So I followed him to his office, and he asked me, like, what did I buy in like what time. So I tell him, like, it has not even been 5 minutes, I just bought the things now. So I tell him like the things that I bought and the time. So he scrolls through his computer and checks, like, and then we found my recharge voucher, and then he tells me, okay, like, not the voucher, but it's like a registration number or something, I don't know. So he tells me, like, go to MTC and claim this recharge and just tell them what happened. So I went to MTC, and it's not far, it's like in the mall itself. So I went to MTC and I told them what happened. And this guy is like, printing out a whole paper. Like, I wish I had that paper. So he prints out this paper with like the information like of who who used the recharge voucher, the number, the time it was used, the everything, the voucher number, everything. So he tells me like, no, this voucher was already used. So I was just so devastated because I know my mom, you guys. I know my mom does not play about her money. My mom does not waste any money. So I was like, oh wow, like he just used the money. So he just used the voucher, sorry. So I went back to ShopRite and I told them like, no, like the security guard that I gave the voucher to, the receipt to, must have used it, and I have his number on this paper. And then I hand it, and then I hand the receipt, the paper, to the trainee manager, and he's like, um and he looks through it, and then I asked him like, do you have your employees a number on your system on the computer in his office? And he's like, no, we don't. But the older security guard that was helping me, he has all the security guards numbers because he's like the supervisor. So hold on. So that older security guard comes and he is like, he dials the number that is on the paper, and then he calls it, and then the name of the security guard stands because obviously he has his number saved. And this man, the older security guard, he just laughs, and then he's like, oh my god, he's in trouble. And then the trainee manager asks him like, who is that? And the older man tells him, look, no, it's that new guy, the tall one. And then he's like, okay. And then he gets mad, the training manager gets mad, and he's like, no, like, go call him, and why is he stealing the customers recharge, and da 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 da. So while we were busy there, the manager of the store comes, and he is like, what's going on? Why are you guys standing here arguing and stuff? So the trainee manager tells the manager what happened, and guys, this man was not even done telling the manager what happened, and he already flipped. He was so angry, and he was just like, no, go call that man, go call that security guard. How can he do that? How can he steal the customers? How can he steal the customers recharge while he is there to protect the customer? And da 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 da. He just goes on. He's like angry. That man was angry. But like, one thing that I can say about the managers, the two managers, the training manager and the manager of Okanja ShopRite, they were so helpful. Like, they were so helpful. So he orders the lady that was with the older man, the security lady, he orders her to go get the security guard that took my voucher. So he later comes with the lady, and the manager asks him like, do you know this lady? And he's like, no. And then he's like, did she give you her receipt? And he's like, no. And then he's like, so you're telling me that you haven't seen this lady? And he's like, no, I haven't. So he tells her like, no, she's telling us that she gave you the recharge and you used it. And then he's like, he denies that I didn't give him the receipt. Oh, child, like, I'm some delusional woman. So um so he denies, and the manager just gets more angry, and he takes the paper and he's like, so are you telling me that this is not your number, and this is not the time that you use this recharge voucher, and da 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 da. He goes on the man. So if it wasn't you, like, whose number is this? And that security guard was so shocked, you guys. He was so shocked. He maybe didn't think that I have like the evidence or whatever. So so he's like, oh wow, like, you can see it in his face, like, that he's very shocked. So he's like, Yes, I did use her recharge voucher. But and then he says like she gave me the voucher and I thought it was already used. So I just tried it if it would go through, and obviously it's a new voucher. I just bought it and then walked out and gave it to you. It will obviously go through. And he's like, no, I just tried it and it went through and da 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 da. So the manager is like, okay, so if she gave you the voucher, why didn't you just come to me or go to anyone and tell them that this customer left the voucher at me and she just walked out? And then they were talking there and he's like, okay, and then he tells the security guy like, you are gonna lose your job today because we don't do that here, and like that, like he just goes on the man. So he's like, follow me to the office because now you pissed me off and you're about to get fired. And he goes on and then he's like, okay, you also follow me to me. So we went to his office, just me, the trainee manager, and the security guard. So he continues to tell the security guard that his position is in danger, he might lose his job, and he's gonna call the security guard's boss, and he better repays me my voucher, um or his boss is gonna pay because I'm not gonna walk out of the store without the voucher. And maybe some of you are wondering why ShopRite didn't just give me the recharge voucher. ShopRite cannot give me their recharge voucher because it was not their fault. It was the security guard's fault, and the security is hired by another company. So they had to refund me my money or pay for another recharge voucher. So the manager calls his boss, the security guard's boss, and he explains the story. And then his boss was also just as mad as the manager. So he's like, how can he do that in all that? And then he's like, okay, but we are going to refund the lady her money. And then I don't know what they spoke, but then he told me that he was gonna refund the money, and then they switch off the phone. And he's like, the manager is asking the security guard like, okay, what's gonna happen now? Because this lady has to go home because she's not from this town. She has to go home, and we're not gonna wait for your boss to send the money. So you have to give this lady her money back, or you must buy her the recharge voucher. So he just goes on the man. Like, that man was not having it. The manager was not having it. So the security guard tells me that no, like, he's sorry for what he did and he doesn't have money on him. How is that my problem? You stole my money, you stole my recharge, and now you want to play pity party here? No. So I tell him like, no, this thing is not also mine, like, it's my mom's, and my mom is gonna flip if I tell her that you can't repay her recharge voucher, because my mom does not pay about her money. My mom does not pay about her money. So so he's like, the manager's like, no, baby, no, you have to make a plan to give this lady her money back. So he's like, no, you can either go home, go get the money and pay for this lady. And mind you, the security guard lives in Favorand. Like, Favorand is like outside Ogainja. Like, it's not outside, but it's like far. Like, it's far. So he calls somebody at his house, and then he tells them like, no, like, bring this money. And he tells them the story, and then he's like, okay, just bring the money to me at the shop. I need to repay somebody. And then somebody brought the money, and the security guard, he pays for my recharge voucher. And while I was still at the till buying the recharge voucher, the boss sent me money to buy another voucher. So I went home with like two super away vouchers, and that is the end of the story basically. But like, guys, all I want to say is that why steal from a customer? Why steal from a customer? And the managers, like at Shoprite, they are really helpful. So so every time when I go to Oganja, like the security guard, oh my god. I really just want to finish with this video, and my baby is just here. So every time that I go there, like the security guards, they recognize me and they're just like, "Hey, friend." Even the guy that stole the recharge voucher, he still greets me until this day. Mama. Shh, baby. Um, and you can tell that the security guard is a good person. Maybe um he just needed cleaner that day. I have to end this video here because it's gonna get messy if I continue a minute longer. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys, and thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. We're on the road to 600. Bye. Mwah.